You're tuned into Tampa Bay's RBLR Sports.
Hi, hello, how are ya? My name is Liz, this is Tom DePinto, and this is RBLR Sun. To our new listeners, thank you so much for joining us. To anyone who's coming back, thank you for coming back. Remember, like, subscribe so you don't miss a single Sun FC update because we provide all of the very interesting updates. That's what we do. Tom, how are you today?
Lizzie, I am dry against all odds, against God's greatest efforts to keep me wet for the rest of my life. If you were at Riverfront Stadium for that game, oh my God, you know the deluge that happened at the very end of the game. And it was like the ocean appeared above us.
Yeah,
it
just dumped.
Yeah. But hey, we made it. I'm dry. My voice is a little worse for wear, if maybe you can tell. I'm sure I'll be good by the next home game. We got like a week. So
yeah.
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
We had 2 weeks.
Did we really?
It's September 14th.
This league's no September. Oh, well, yeah, home game.
Yeah. Home game. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we are.
I assume you're not going to be screaming at the top of your lungs at whatever bar we're in.
Yeah, I will still be yelling at the TV for the Lexington game on.
Yeah, but hopefully not the same amount.
No.
Or same decibel.
We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Fair
enough.
How are you?
I'm okay. Also dry, and my car is slightly less musty now, so that's nice. Because I had 3 soggy dudes sitting in my car.
Yep. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
2 soggy dudes and me. Sorry. I'm good at counting. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
No, Eric was in there.
Eric. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was a rough end of 5 minutes, but people who aren't casuals stay till the end.
Yeah. A lot of people with the tie-dye shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Shout outs. But, so good.
So we had a game.
Fun. It was fun, right? We had fun. I mean, sometimes you gotta make your own fun with the 0-0 draw, right?
Yeah.
But I think there was enough going on.
I mean, it was women's equality night, so I think the only way it was ever going to end was a 0. It was equal 0-0.
It's only fair, right?
Yeah.
We couldn't invite women down to our house and just
no woman could be above another, so we ended 0-0 equal.
Hey,
the end.
We love a theme night.
Yep. Yeah, we were super on theme. That's what it was. We couldn't score a goal because that would have been unfair to DC.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been equal of us.
Yes.
0-0. It's the only just result.
Okay, that being said, the next game is not women's equality night, so if we could score a goal, that'd be great.
Yeah, the next game is a away game. All bets are off. The gloves are coming off. We're going for the jugular against Lexington. We're gonna I hope.
Okay, so quick things. They did do some improvements on the stadium. Lines were a little bit better. There's still only one place to get water, which is kind of poopy, but that's hopefully they'll fix that.
Yep.
At some point, we have a scoreboard. It's very, very big. It's very, very nice, very bright. We can see it from the supporter section, which I appreciate. I thought we were going to have to be like craning our neck or anything like that, but it's very easy to read. I'm hoping at some point we will get replays on the board. That would be really nice. But right now it does just have like the score with the 2 teams. And it doesn't count up, but it does tell you how many minutes of extra time there is. And I do appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a little bit of bones, but I mean, they got that thing done like an hour before game time, basically.
At least.
Yeah. So hats off to the crew for doing it because they were cutting it close all week. We were getting the updates were rolling in from people with pictures that drove by. And man, it feels good to have it. That way we're not constantly guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks nice. I appreciate the effort that they put in to get it in by the second game too. Like literally, like you said, down to an hour or 2 before game start. They still had all the cords out trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they were working all week. That's not a simple thing to build. That's not a shit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Armature parking pricing went up to $20, we found out, because it's a Saturday, not a Sunday. So that's kind of sucko. $20 still less than the Sun parking. So that's something. Definitely carpool and share the parking price so that you can
make some friends, hang out downtown. But yeah, it's that's the thing. I've said it before. Everybody wants that downtown stadium, until you got that downtown stadium, and now you realize it's a little difficult to park downtown. I didn't realize. I never come down here.
Yeah.
So, figure it out, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate the little things the Sun did to make things better, but there's still a ways to go. But I understand these are all that will be working.
They did double the number of water taxis across the river.
They did, yes, and I think that improved things greatly for a lot of people. I don't remember hearing anyone complain about missing kickoff or not being able to get to anywhere in time.
Yeah, people for the Dallas game walked across the bridge just to get to the stadium, and I didn't hear any of that. So, they're listening. Things are getting better. It's a brand new team. It's a high school in downtown. It's not the easiest place to make work for yourselves, and we're doing it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And like I think we were saying before, if you want a fully farmed team, you can go across the bay to the team that's had, how long have they been? 2010? 14 years. 14 years to make things.
Literally, yeah.
So we've had a couple months.
Yeah, it's not going to be quite clicking.
Yeah.
So you
got to work with us for a little bit.
Yeah. So
I'm a fan. But other than that, I would be more of a fan if we had scored a goal. So let's go into the game recap.
Yeah, we started with the same lineup we did against Dallas last week. Orkus in goal, of course. Back line, Edmonds, Bissett, Henny, Listro. We had Sawale as the pivot, as sort of the defensive player, the plug. Real important position. She's great at when she's allowed to be that far back. She's great. I love it. And then a little more attacking. Clark Lemieux on the left side, always dangerous, always fast. Carly Jamona, thankfully not injured after the knock from Amber Brooks last week. And she was super important to have. We'll get into all her. Timrak on the right center midfield, Nacello on the right wing, and then Riley Madeline Parker up top with the bubble braids and the tucked in shorts, looking very funny all the time. Big fan of hers. So no changes there to start. There were some changes a little bit later on in terms of what we subbed and what we didn't. Of course, like I said, keeping Jamona on instead of making that early sub made the game plan kind of coalesce a lot more, I think.
Yeah.
And then we had the opportunity as well to take Riley out after she got all her running out, and we put in the new signing from North Carolina, Talia Stouty up top, which was good to see. It adds some depth somewhere we obviously needed a little bit extra because she got in so quickly. So overall, I think what we're doing tactically is starting to make a little bit more sense for everybody on the team and watching. We still obviously are missing the European players, the 4 out on visa stuff. But the wings seem very much like we know what we want to do there. We kind of want to keep the left wing and the right wing intact as long as we can. It's the spine of the team that kind of gets jumbled up the longer things go. Sawale ends up pushing up a little bit further. The academy kids come on and you let them run around. But it does tell me that there's a game plan that is coalescing a lot more. And it's something I like to see. It looks better, right?
Yeah, no, it looks better. Like one of my first notes was that passes are they're still a little disjointed, but they look much better than they did last week.
Yeah.
There are much less passes to no one.
Yeah. That's the whole league. It's going to happen. Brand new teams, brand new league. You got to have that time to gel. And so we're going to be seeing that for a little bit, but it'll click sooner than later. And then the only issue there is once our group clicks, we're going to start getting those European players in, and they're going to have to slot themselves in. And they're great players, so they'll do it quickly, but going to be growing pains for a bit of the fall, I fear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. It's kind of like we're trading two teams now. We've got this one that we're kind of like cobbling together. That's an insult to the players that we have here and is playing and is doing, fairly well. Thank God for Orkus.
One goal in 2 games.
Yeah. And then it just sucks because they not necessarily who we would have started right off the bat. Yeah. Maybe some players who maybe would have been better as like a 60th minute sub, as fresh legs, but we'll we're going to look at it this way and say, at least these players are getting this play time now, where maybe if we need them later to be that 60th minute sub because we have somebody else starting, they're there, they're ready, they know the game plan.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And for the girls that are out there to be holding on 2 weeks in a row, securing a point, it's doing the dirty work, the ugly work that people aren't going to appreciate. This isn't our best 11. So once the best 11 gets here, you want to have them in a position to hand the baton off to them, as it were, and let them sprint with it, because we're going to get a lot more dangerous when we are a full and complete team. So to plug in and do the dirty work, do the hard stuff right now, get the game plan in, show Denise has an idea of what she wants to do, which is very obvious, I think, watching some of the other teams, watching us. As long as we hold steady until the reinforcements arrive, until the cavalry gets here, that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can talk a little bit about some individual players, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, do you want to do player of the match, or do you want to wait to the end?
Let's I mean, everybody knows, but let's let's save it,
Okay.
So let's start with a player, not necessarily the player of the match, right? Let's start with Ashley Orkus.
Okay.
She's the best goalie in the USL.
She is a god.
Yeah, she is. Delivered to her.
I have multiple times in this. Makes game winning save.
Yeah.
Makes game winning save again. And then makes game winning save again.
Multiple times in multiple games, just saving the game. Like,
yeah.
I gotta give the credit to the team as it is for getting the draws and everything, but you got to think we could be pointless if Ashley Orkus wasn't doing Ashley Orkus stuff back in net.
Yeah, she is a brick wall. It's phenomenal, and it was something that we were talking about after one of the other games. That the pool of keepers is so much smaller because there's so many fewer spots.
Yeah.
So you're really gonna see the best and brightest, and Lord knows why she wasn't starting. What was the NWSL team?
Courage.
Yeah, Lord knows. Well,
she
Courage are really good.
We were talking about this. She got drafted by the Courage as the second goalie they drafted in this year's draft.
Oh, which is insane with how good she is. Yeah, that's so crazy.
So it's immediately like, what, I'm fourth on the depth chart out of the draft. It's a little insulting, frankly. So they can't have evaluated her like super well in their preseason. So their glut of goalies that they kind of had is our benefit because we got one that should be playing in the NWSL.
Yeah.
So if not for Courage, then there's definitely room for her in that league. So let's treasure her because
yes,
we want her to stay.
Yes, please. Yes, so Ashley Orkus, we love you. Please stay forever.
Please, we'll listen to whatever you say during the games about our chants. Just please. Yeah. I mean, and it's not just the we love her, the eye test kind of thing. She is like statistically the best goalie rocking right now. She's got 12 saves out of 2 games, which is double the second best, 6 out of Morgan Aquino in DC, who had some great saves against us as well.
Absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, she was on fire for that game.
Yeah. It could have been, if not for the goalies, we could have seen the first USL Super League game with more than 2 goals scored in it.
Yeah.
So, but they stood on their heads, both of them. I mean, Orkus a little bit more. She's got 92% save percentage. She's, I mean, it's insane. She's operating at a level that I'm afraid, like, is that sustainable? Like, I think for her, it probably is at this level of play. And as good as she is, I think she'll keep this up. But man, it is a crazy level of play to be operating at. I love it.
Yeah, no, she is a gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how else to say. Sorry, I don't know how else to say it. That we would be dead in the water without her, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, little rival watch, Fort Lauderdale's goalie has no saves and 1 goal against. So granted, just 1 game, but hey.
Yeah, that's rough.
They could use an Ashley Orkus down there, I think.
Yeah.
What
about Edmonds?
Edmonds coming into her own. I think she's she's figuring out the system now. I did have some issues last week with the communication. Left back Edmonds, left center back Bissett, but there was a whole lot less of that. She's obviously maybe the best one-on-one defender, at least position-wise, not necessarily on taking on the dribble. But Edmonds that's a clutch signing with not too long ago that we got her. So
she looked like she clicked a little bit more last night. Or the other night, excuse me. I'm just last night is when we watched it.
Yeah, right. I mean, moving down that way, Bissett, she really showed something in this past game that I didn't see in the Dallas game.
Yeah.
She's got an attitude. She shithouses.
Oh my God, she's a shithouser, and she knows it, and she loves it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we're here. We're so here for it.
I get your game now, Miss Bissett. I understand. I apologize for any previous misconceptions I may have had. But yeah, she's a real nuisance, and it's as long as the passing gets cleaned up, which is inevitable. I really like that left side of the defense. I like that whole left side. It's very dynamic.
Yeah, left side was good. And then moving on to the right side, then we got our first of two, Henny. Yeah.
She super safe, super good at playing that diagonal ball. That's something we realized when we watched it. She's really looking for that long ball, especially to Clark, kind of diagonally.
Yeah.
And she can nail it when she hits it too, which I think is something that we're going to have to look forward to her doing, because it's a good way to spring the offense real quick.
Yeah, and we have a couple of players. Giamona really likes a long ball, a long diagonal too.
Yeah, hell, she can dribble too. She can take people on. She can defend. I like Giamona a lot. You can tell we missed her when she got injured against Dallas. That game maybe could have gone another way if she got to stay in.
Yeah, no, I think so for sure, especially after her performance in this game.
Yeah. You saw why she started, Yeah. Yeah, over on the right side, we got Timorak, Listro, the veterans, safe hands. They don't make a bad decision, It's never necessarily as flashy as the left side, where we got a lot of speed, but they don't do the wrong thing ever. And you need a side of your team that's just going to not screw around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less of those kicks to nowhere on that side.
Yeah. It's a little bit slower. It's a little more composed. Sometimes they go backwards with it, but they look like they're comfortable on the ball in the way that NWSL veterans should be.
Yeah.
So
and we have
not the flashy stuff.
Yeah, but speaking of flashy, we do have Sawale, who is just so silky, so smooth,
silky smooth. You almost
just fun. She's just fun to watch.
You almost don't notice it watching her, how
just
relaxed and casual she can be with the ball. Step overs and like the tricky turns. I love getting to know these players too in such a good way. But she is so confident when she's got it. She thinks ahead. She's quick. She's everywhere. She reads the play, the entire field, a lot better than a lot of players, her age, her experience level.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Sawale's playing 4D chess, honestly.
Yeah. She's doing more. She's doing more. And I mean, speaking of flashy, that right side, not necessarily that flashy in the defensive sort of zone, but if they get that ball up to Sydney Nacella, she is a dynamo. My gosh.
She's so good. And she's another one that if you're not watching, you won't see it.
Yeah.
But she had so many really good runs the whole game. And it was, what did you say? It was she's too good at dribbling for this league.
Yeah, she really is. I counted at least 3 times in the last game where she just embarrassed her defender one-on-one and then was fouled for it. Hey, that's gonna happen, It's the kind of thing where if she was doing that stuff on a futsal court in West Tampa in the streets or something, she might start a fight with how good she is at dribbling. People will be personally offended. She's nutmegging people. She's turning them inside out. It's all they can do to just turn around and kick her legs, grab at her jersey. She's a nightmare for defenders in this league. It's something that nobody else on this team, very few people in the league in general, are dribbling the way she is. She's a real issue.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be her passes. I think the first shot we even had was, I think that was her to Hendrick. Sid to Riley was our first shot on goal.
Yeah,
and I think that's gonna be a big one. I think that's gonna be one of the a common one that we see a lot is an assist from Sid to Riley or something similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's in the midfield. She's finding those gaps. If a team likes a high press, she's gonna sneak in between and have 20 yards to dribble. If she ends up getting the ball more on the offensive side, we saw it happen both games, Dallas and DC. She'll get around somebody and she'll draw that foul in a dangerous spot for a free kick. It's something that she's gonna do. That's gonna be, if we can't hit that long ball to Clark on the left side that we look like we want to do, the other option is give it to Sid, make her embarrass someone and piss them off, and then work out of the free kick that generates.
Yeah.
So it's starting to come together. No goal hurts. We all know that, but we can see the germ, the seed of something that's coming.
Yeah, and a couple of those were crossbar, which that's going to happen, but that's good. That's on target. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, it's technically not. It doesn't.
Really?
Yeah. Crossbar does not count as on target.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
But it's the part of the target.
It's not part of the target. The target's the back of the net.
All right, fine. We're gonna get technical.
Yeah, I mean, we had like 3 that hit woodwork, poster or crossbar. So it's a game of inches. It's a matter of centimeters, whatever you want to do. But man, it's coming.
Yeah.
So we just gotta let it develop a little bit more.
Oh man, 2 goals and we're on the field.
Yeah, seriously, at this point,
we're gonna lose our minds.
The field's too close. It's too tempting to not. Yeah. The board's hip height. We can all hop that, no problem.
Barely. Honestly, it's my hip height because I'm shorter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll be throwing the kids over it. No big deal. Toss them on the field. Women and children first, right?
Yeah, of course.
When you storm a field. Yeah, I mean, anybody else kind of jump out at you? Maybe any of the substitutes? The game plan kind of changes when the substitutes come in. It gets a little simpler, it seems like.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a factor. I mean, obviously, no shade on the academy kids. They are children. And so to be playing professional soccer right now is incredible. But the fact of the matter is they wouldn't be playing if we did have our full complement, our full arsenal. So to still get out there and, hold on to these late points when we are playing, we made 5 subs. 3 of them were kids.
Yeah.
I think we got Pitts back in. Martinez came in. Somebody got her first appearance. I want to say Sienna Bryan came in late for Suale.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we made 5 subs and 3 of them were children. And that's not something other teams are doing. They've got some kids on the bench. They got some kids on the roster. Carolina, a lot of really, really young players. But they're not playing them nearly as much as we are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a noticeable downturn on pressure when we subbed in the kids, but that's kind of expected. I don't know if maybe Denise thought that we were gonna that the kids might have a chance of scoring a goal, or at this point it was just like, all right, we're probably gonna get a 0-0 draw.
Yeah,
let's just put them in so they get some minutes. Which either way, I'm fine with. Like that's great.
People are tired. Let them run around. The playoffs could create something. I know Pitts is running or took us off, and that's the thing too. When those late subs come in, Suale gets really far advanced, which. I mean, I don't hate it, of course. She's a great player. But with any kind of defensive-minded player like she is, the game changes when you get that far up. You're not looking at the same things. You're not looking at the same players, the same passing alleys. So she doesn't have quite the same gumption to jump those alleys like she would if she was further back. So I can see what she's looking for, where Suwali gets one of those step-in tackles like she tends to do a couple times a game, and then maybe that springs one of the energetic kids. So there's always something you're looking for late in the game, but that's not going to be our game plan later in the season. So again, it sucks, but we're in a holding pattern, frankly. We're doing our best until everybody gets here.
It's not a rebuilding year; it's the building year.
Yeah. We're playing in an unfinished office, just like the team's front office is operating out of an unfinished office.
Yeah,
it is what it is with your first year.
Yeah, which no shade. Again, absolutely no shade. They're doing the best they can with what they have, and I think it's wonderful.
Yep. Yeah. No reason to hit the panic button. No reason to call this team a train wreck or anything like that. I mean,
no. Did I want us to be goals everywhere right out the gate? Absolutely. Yes. Am I sad that we're not? Yes, a little bit. Am I gonna live with it because I'm used to teams being just okay? Yeah. What I think is 2 points in 2 games is the third best we could be doing. There are 2 amounts of points that are worse. Yes.
And there are 2 amount of points that are better. So
yes,
it's okay.
Yeah. We're 2 games in.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the power rankings. We're second in the table, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
I don't care that we played 1 more game than everybody but Carolina. Still, it's a brand new league. It's gonna look weird.
Yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna look like, I feel like it's gonna look like a totally different team. Yeah. In 6 months by the end of this part of the season, or this half of the season for sure.
Yeah. You compare every game this, and that's what's kind of beautiful about Super League. You get every team plays every team twice in the fall, and then we do the same thing in the spring. And those spring games are not going to look the same as these fall games.
No, definitely not.
So it comes down to it. Everybody's going to put their pieces together, see who maybe gets a lucky jump or has their pieces ready early on, because frankly our pieces aren't ready. But come the spring, that's going to be, full decks for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, that's looking ahead, but hey. All right. Liz, you want to do player of the match?
Yeah. All right. So the RBLR player of the match, because we all agreed, Ashley Orkus, of course.
Of course.
Love it. Absolutely.
Of course, it's Orkus. Yeah, she just like Liz said, game-winning save. Even look, you can talk about she gave up the penalty because she stepped in and fouled, but you can talk to the defender who let that pass made that bad pass happen. She already admitted it, and sometimes your goalie is going to have to step up and do something because a mistake happened because we're not all on the same page yet. But she had one of the best shooters in the Super League, Jorian Balcom for DC. She had her read like a Clifford the Big Red Dog book. It was simple for her. Low to the right, easily read. And to do that in the 88th minute, all the pressure on you late in the game. We can't say enough about how good Ashley Orkus is. She's not just the best keeper in the Super League. As far as I'm concerned, she's the best keeper in the USL, and that includes championship.
I think, didn't they say she is, though?
Yeah.
Mathematically, yeah.
Yeah, according to USL Tactics, she is mathematically and statistically the best keeper in the USL.
Yeah, for sure. If I had to do in a second, I would probably be Nacello or Giamona for sure, because Nacello had a lot of great runs. Here and there, she unfortunately, because of those great runs, gets fouled a lot, which sucks. I am slightly worried that she's going to get injured at some point.
Yeah. Playing on turf.
Yeah, playing on turf. It's just kind of how it is. I think most of the fields are turf, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then Giamona had some really good long crosses that were just on point. Yeah. And she just, these little plays here and there that were really smooth. I couldn't think of a word all of a sudden.
Yeah, smooth's the right word. She's smooth with it. She advances with the ball after she lays it off. She looks to get it back. She's got great vision. She's got great pressure when she loses it or when somebody else on the team loses it. You can really see how important she is to the game plan. Nacello and Gimona both occupy not necessarily the same position mirrored, but kind of the same philosophy on different sides of the field, where they're going to be the ones we want to see advancing the ball. And like I said earlier, if we had Gimona the whole time against Dallas, I think probably we get all 3 points. So it'll be good. I mean, I thank God she's not hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad that no one has gotten hurt. Especially we had that little someone I think it was Ashley Clark tumbled into the fence.
Yeah, that was nasty. That was a whoever did that. We're not friends.
No, we're not friends.
That was a late push. It was like a judo throw. It wasn't cool.
No.
But she's tough. She got back up. She finished playing.
Yes.
We'll take it. A lot of we'll take it.
Who would be your secondary player of the match then?
I mean, you set them. I think it's got to be Nacello. She's the most dangerous player for us going forward. She's the one causing problems. If it wasn't the one-on-one dribbles and the free kicks, there was one point where she took the ball from the right wing and dribbled just past everybody. She found acres and acres of space. She's looking to push the ball. She found herself on the left post at one point, looking for a pass back that didn't come, just because the team's not quite on the same page yet. I think it was Clark that had the ball from Nacello and ended up shooting, which, I mean, shoot, you can't score unless you shoot. But I think if she would have played that ball back, it would have been a little bit better chance for Nacello to score. But that comes with time. That comes with familiarity. And it's going to come, especially with Clark and Nacello, because those are two players who belong on the field for as long as you can keep them on the field.
Yeah.
So she's a danger. She's one of the best dribblers in the league.
Okay, so make sure, comment down below who you think your player of the match was. Yep. And then also, because you're listening to this, and you can just Google it real quick, you're going to click a link, and you're going to go vote for us for Best of the Bay, for Best Podcast, because we are the best podcast, and we're the only sports one, which makes us the best.
Yep, that's how it works.
And it's a pinned tweet on RBLR Sports, so if you go check it out on Twitter, RBLR Sports, it's pinned. You do have to give them your email. Just use a burner one. It's fine.
We've
use
all
your burner ones, all of the burner emails.
We've got like 6. Just try and remember all the passwords.
Yeah, it's real easy. There's RBLR, and then you press the next button. Make sure you press vote, because I did not realize that the first day. You have to click the name and then press vote, and then you can go to the next one and vote. Typical
Florida voters getting confused.
Rude, but not inaccurate.
Well, we only got till Saturday, so
yes, it is only till the 30th, the end of the month, whatever the end of the month is.
That's how that works.
Yes, so make sure that you go vote every single day that you can, that you remember. I literally have a calendar thing, and I think I've gotten like half the days this month. So you know what? Close enough.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah,
we're up there.
Yeah,
by default, best sports podcast. So we'll take that. But we'd like overall too.
Yes. Moving forward, then, we do have a game coming up against Lexington.
Lizzie, real quick, I do have a non-player player of the game.
Oh, non-player play of the game. Okay.
Yes. And that is the hat stack.
Oh, the hats.
The hat stack. It was, I don't remember the last time I felt so happy. Oh my God. The sense of community that, look, if you guys haven't made it out to a game yet, if you got one reason or another you're not doing it, look, it is a new way to watch soccer. It's a new soccer team to watch. It's new people to watch it with. And my God, we are having the time of our lives with it. Look, we got to have a little Heatwave corner every once in a while. We can pat ourselves on the back, say we did a great job. But man, every little picture of our group, everybody looks so happy. There's such a sense of community. Everybody wants to be involved. It's wonderful. It's truly like pure raw joy in a way that you don't get in your day-to-day life. So get off the couch, get into the stands.
Honestly, come see us over at the Heatwave.
Please, we got scarves.
Go find at the Heatwave _ on Instagram and the Twitters, and then join the Discord, and then you get discounted tickets.
There we go. It's big brain.
Boom. Oh, the 31st. Eureka said it earlier about the voting thing. Sorry. It is the 31st.
Saturday the 31st.
Yes. Sorry. I wanted to make sure I clarified that.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Lexington.
There we go. Lexington. We just watched that game. Lexington versus Carolina. It was a Sunday game.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble, Jonathan.
Are we look? Lexington's good.
They're really good.
Lexington does not look like.
No, they don't look like they just started playing.
No, that's not
Like a
some
month
barely
ago.
hyped, like small Kentucky town hick ass. No, they are good at soccer. Oh
Yeah.
God, they're good. Look, everybody.
They made North Carolina, or sorry, just Carolina look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
their defense looked like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, they looked. The offense looked completely toothless for vast. Look, 1-1 draw, but man, Carolina got lucky. I think.
Yeah.
Or more so, I think Lexington got unlucky because they had a
Yeah.
lot of chances that should have gone in.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they took a team that people are saying is the new number one, the new power ranking number one, the Ascent, and I did not see that out of them. No.
No,
Look.
the whole time we were watching, we were like, we know that this goal comes in the 76th minute, but man, it is wild that they're going to get there because it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Yeah, we do play Lexington on the 8th, but they don't play until then, and we don't play anybody else until then. It's a light weekend coming up. There are 2 games, 1.5, I guess, because Brooklyn versus Carolina is this weekend, Saturday, and also Friday is Dallas versus FC Barcelona.
Okay, so not me getting ahead of myself. Definitely not.
Yeah, so the league's being kind of light on us, letting us enjoy the 3-day weekend. So yeah,
that is kind.
Yeah, so we've got this weekend next to worry about and plan for those green horses out of Kentucky. So let's talk a little bit about the way they like to play, because we're not going to have another chance to look at them this coming weekend. It's them against Carolina and then them against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So they start off super, super aggressively. They press extremely high. They generated 2 very dangerous chances in literally the first minute. Like that was their game plan. One of them resulted in a yellow card because the forward was like jumping on the ball as the goalie was going for it too, which it's not a yellow card you're upset about if you're the coach, if you're a fan. That you're getting after it, you're causing pressure, you're causing issues. Their high press, like we high press too, but man, the Lexington high press it's a full-on swarm. Carolina had no idea what to do at times. It looked like they couldn't even do the pass back and recycle sort of deal because the pressure was on that quickly. So I'm super impressed with what they've put in there as far as a game plan.
Yeah, and then honestly, once Lexington scored, Carolina looked like even more of a mess. They looked like they were just like frantic.
Yeah. The game didn't start tilting in the Ascent's favor until the subs came in for Lexington because they can't run that high press the same way the starters can. You saw them start to sit back in the midfield, and for maybe 5-10 minutes after the substitutes were made, Carolina was like surprised about that, I want to say. And then they started standing on the ball and looking around and scanning and making some smarter passes. But man, they've got a good team with a good coach that's told them what he wants them to do, and they're doing it. So it's an interesting game to watch. We're gonna have to break that high press.
Yeah.
And we had issues with that against Trinity. DC didn't press the same way Dallas did, and Lexington presses, I think, harder than Dallas did.
Yeah.
So what that's going to take, in my opinion, is going to be one of those long diagonal balls from our defense. I think Clark making a run and Henny hitting our own diagonal ball. It's going to take a little bit of magic out of Sidney Nasello in the midfield. But we got to break quick when we get the chance. You can't stand on the ball against the Lexington starters and let them get 2, 3, 4 players marking up on the ball because they like to do that. So it's going to be a problem. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be opening their brand new stadium. It's the first. They're the women's side of a League One team that is moving up to championship. So they've got a fan base that is in mid-season form, unlike a lot of other Super League teams. They've got a team that's playing well. They've got a lot of energy behind them, but it's also a lot of pressure on them. So we got to make that away game, that first away game in Sun history, just a business trip, and do out and, do what we got to do. It's going to be a tough game. Absolutely. Not an easy game in this league.
No. Yeah. No, for sure. There is no easy game for sure. But I'm worried though, especially when we make subs, because as soon as we started making subs in this game against DC, DC got a lot more opportunities to score.
Yeah. Our whole game plan.
Their possession just shot up, honestly. Like I remember looking at the positions, they showed possession statistics. At the beginning, like 10 minutes in, we were at like 80% or something like ridiculous. Hold on. What was it? 73% possession by the 11th minute. And then we ended the game with like
a high
45% possession.
Yeah, that'll happen. I think Lexington's kind of similar to us in that regard, where they had the same Achilles heel, maybe, where once their subs got in, the game plan got a lot more basic. And so I think if we can snag a goal with our starters against theirs, because we've got game tape on them now, we know what they want to do. Obviously, they've got to double the game tape on us, but I like our players a lot. So if we can come out and we can score an early goal in a way that we haven't yet, that'll take off a lot of pressure on our depth. Because that game, I think that game could get a little sloppy, a little ugly later on. So we're going to have to capitalize when we come out. So, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be interesting. It's a very interesting matchup. I was surprised by Lexington for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did not expect a 1-1. I didn't expect a 1-1 draw. And then while watching the game, I was surprised it was only a 1-1 draw.
Yeah. I mean, the Lexington goal was off of a corner kick, which, typical Super League set piece goal at this point in the early going, but they had so many other chances. Hit post just wide, a pass that just quite wasn't there. It wasn't a given. It was going to be a set piece goal for Lexington.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, and credits due while we're at it to Carolina for cracking the nut late in the game. And I mean, technically scoring the goal of the season so far, right? Because it wasn't in the run of play, or was in the run of play,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great dribble by Jill Aguilera on the left side. She got past Utley, who is an attacking midfielder, who you got put in a bad spot against a good dribbler, got beat, and then she played a ball in the middle. I don't know that the ball was necessarily intended to get to Mia Corbin, the goal scorer. You said that right, but it did, and she blasted it. So, however it happens, it happens. It's going to be.
Yeah, it definitely. Okay, it was one of the prettier goals, that's for sure.
It was literally from outside the box.
Yeah.
It's a banger. You can't say it wasn't just because it wasn't.
Okay.
It's a low bar early in the season right now. Not a lot of worldies, not a lot of Puskas contenders coming out of the USL Super League yet. We'll get there. So that's Lexington. The other team that is coming out of their coma is Brooklyn, and they're doing it at a really good time to wake up. The week of your first game. That's when you want to start operating as a soccer team. Yep. They broke the vow of silence about their goalie, or not their goalie, their coach. Their coach will be here. There are quote unquote bureaucratic issues, which I love. That's awesome. Their coach won't be there for their first game, but they will be there within the next 3 games. And we are their third game ever, which is September 14th at Fort Blake. So there is a chance we get to be the first team that has to play Brooklyn with a coach, or a non-interim, non-assistant coach. So they're coming in, getting it figured out. they made the first Super League team transfer. They bought Luana Grabius from Fort Lauderdale, which is, I don't know, that's weird, right?
A little bit this early in the season,
right?
A mid-league interleague transfer is kind of odd, but
yeah, you haven't played a game yet. Like you got most of your team, but you're like, oh, we got to sign somebody. Throw somebody at Fort Lauderdale, I guess.
Yeah,
get someone. So I don't know.
Oh man,
Weird
did you
club.
see their kits?
Why are you making that face? Their kits are good.
I know, they're really good.
Yes, their kits are
kind
great.
of annoyed, and they're cheaper.
Yeah. The kits are great. Black jerseys.
And they have they already have customization. I couldn't think of the whole word all of a sudden. I was like, they already have customs. They have customization, yeah.
Look.
Costs an arm and a leg, but
to be fair, it's New York City, all right? It's the fashion capital of the world.
Yeah, and I have to say, these are snazzy kits.
Yeah.
I like the pinstripe, and then the little the trim on the sleeves is nice, and then the collar. I usually don't like a collar on a jersey. This hits. I'm a fan.
I don't know if the collar is part of the jersey.
I think it is.
I'm looking at all these pictures, and I'm not sure.
Is it not?
I think they're doing like the undershirt with a collar.
Oh, is it? Dang it.
Which is cheating.
No. It's I went to the men's section. When it shows just the outline of the jersey, it has a collar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. They're awesome then.
Yeah, it just looked nice.
Yeah. They had the Liquid Death sponsor, which looks really good. Shout out to them for getting rid of plastic. That's cool.
I do love again when a kit spot like ours, honestly, kit sponsor blends in pretty well with the kit.
Yeah, it's the difference between a good-looking kit like Brooklyn or Tampa Bay Sun and the Rowdies with Seminole Hard Rock Casino on the front. Especially when it started chipping too, because you watched it too many times.
Yeah.
Not my favorite jersey I own.
No.
But yeah. So they're alive, thank God.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit worried, but we'll see them play and finally.
Yeah. They should at least tell us who their coach is, you would imagine, right? Even if they're not here yet.
You would imagine, yeah.
I can't think of the guy off the top of my head, but Dallas has a coach they announced. But they weren't here yet for the same bureaucratic issues.
Okay.
So tell us. Don't be coy about it. We don't think it's cute, Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Saturday game this week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're Eastern Standard, Eastern Daylight. What are we doing? Eastern time.
I don't know the difference. So I literally just put, instead of EST or EDT, when I have to put the time and I have to put that, I just put ET.
There you go. Yeah.
Eastern time.
Whatever the East is doing.
Yep.
Yeah, and they play Carolina. Which Carolina plays every week for like the first 5 weeks or something.
Yeah, they have it rough.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of bounce back from a lackluster game against Lexington, against a Brooklyn team that is more mysterious than anything in the universe, maybe. They are a philosophical conundrum at this point. More of a thought experiment than a soccer club.
Yeah, I like that. There we go.
Yeah. So we'll see. You got 3 games worth of tape on a cent, and you have conjecture about Brooklyn. So we'll see what Carolina can do with that. I'm glad they were playing them first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other game is actually Friday, and that is Dallas opening their home slate at Cotton Bowl.
Woohoo!
Against FC Barcelona. Very cool. And they're actually playing Bay FC in a friendly too. Tonight, Tuesday night.
Oh,
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so,
I like that.
So we'll know how that goes. But and that'll be on ESPN Plus. That's not helping anybody except for you, Lizzie. Sorry, everyone. Hope you watched it. It was a great game, or it wasn't. But yeah, we don't know if that game's going to be available to watch. Dallas, I checked their website. They haven't said if it's streaming on Peacock, YouTube, ESPN, God knows. Because I would like to watch Dallas's first ever home game. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Especially because it's the only other Super League related game that weekend. So.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no, I need all the soccer, all the soccer all the time. Please, thank you.
I intend to watch every game in this league. Don't hide one from me just because Barcelona's involved. But yeah, and besides that, the league put out their second week power rankings, and Carolina's at the top, and that's a joke. They shouldn't be.
No.
They're at the top because somebody needs to be at the top, and they have the most points because they got 4 points. Yeah, they beat DC in the first ever game, and they, against all odds, they got away from Lexington with a point.
Yeah.
And then Dallas, they have second, which I like. Dallas is a good, strong team. We saw that firsthand. Lexington comes in at third after their first game, which, could be higher, honestly. Could be over Dallas.
I would have moved Carolina below Lexington, personally.
Yeah, because they looked straight up better than them. I'd have
Dallas.
Dallas.
Or same. If you have to, you really have to, just same.
I'd probably say Dallas, Lexington, Carolina as top three right now.
Yeah.
And then in the middle is Fort Lauderdale and Spokane. They played to a draw in opening weekend. Both teams looked good, I think. Amina Ekic on Spokane. She looked really good. Nobody kind of jumped out to me from Fort Lauderdale, but to get a point on the road, especially all the way in Spokane, that's good.
Yeah. So,
good for them. They got DC above us in the power rankings, which I don't know, man. How can you say that? We all watched the same game. Were they better? Our goalie was better.
Our goalie was better. I don't know that we were maybe better in the first half.
Yeah. And the first half, I think, is what you should be judging off of at this point. Those are the real teams. But I don't know. So
no, it's the whole team.
It is. It's 90 minutes of soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just salty because we are 7th out of 8, and that's just because Brooklyn hasn't played yet.
Yeah, that does not feel great, but it's fine. They're just power rankings.
We're second in the table, 7th in the power rankings. Nothing means anything.
Yep.
Nothing
means anything anyway. It's just 11 sweaty people on a field.
Yeah, it's sports. Get over it. Right?
Get over it, I say, as I have a whole wall full of sports.
Yeah, I think we devote over 12 hours a week to doing this,
Yep.
Sports don't matter.
Sports don't matter. New shirt at the RBLR shop.
Yeah. Get your team colored sports don't matter shirt.
Yep.
It's very good for your teams, for when your team's not doing great. Then you can pretend it doesn't hurt you at all.
Yep. Like right now.
Yeah. Hey, let me do a transition. You're too good at them. Speaking of how good of our goalies are, Orkus has been a brick wall, but she's been getting pushed in practice and backed up on game days by TCU's own Lauren Kellett.
Woohoo!
And there is a very good article up right now on RBLRsports.com. Our own James Knowles, one of the smartest men alive, I think. He did a great interview with Lauren. She seems awesome, actually. I've listened to a couple interviews, read a couple interviews with her. The cool thing about Lauren Kellett is she does not watch sports. She agrees that sports don't matter. She didn't watch a full soccer game until she was in college. She's like, my favorite soccer player, my idol, who do I emulate my game? I don't know, whoever my coaches tell me to. And that's an attitude I can get behind. So I'm a big Lauren Kellett fan. So how we doing?
Things are good. Things are okay. I wish we had more soccer this weekend, but that's all right.
A little bit.
But to make sure that you don't miss anything, make sure you like and subscribe and do all the thingy things and the Twitters and the Instagrams and the YouTubes, and leave us a comment about who your player of the match was again. I still want to know that, please and thank you.
Follow Lizzie. Follow me.
Yeah.
Follow RBLR.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just point to all the places. Woo-hoo. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this presentation by RBLR Sports. On your way out of the stadium, please remember to like and subscribe.